Oh Canada, land of maple syrup, Tim Hortons, and even ketchup chips, and also the birthplace of a very cool Roblox bus simulator that I'll be yapping about for the next few minutes or so.
Anywho, hello there, my name is Thanyawat Srivajana and welcome back to another episode of RoTransWipe, the series where I yap about Roblox Transport Games finally after a hiatus. This time I'm going to talk about the cool features and other stuff about Roblox Bus Simulator, one of Roblox's most popular bus games to date, second to Coidander. Alright then, let's get to the elephant in the room first. Why a bus game? You know, for most of RoTransWipe's tenure, or how long the series has been running, I've mostly talked about train games, you know, SCR, BR, WCR, and even the Trains universe and all that, with the exception of episode 4, which we tackled about PTFS, or Pilot Training Flight Simulator. So I thought it was about time that I moved on to something better, like a bus game, like Vamos.
Vamos Bus Simulator is an open-world realistic bus simulator released on the 13th of October 2023. The game is developed by the Vamos Transit Group, founded and currently headed by Testine_S. The aim for the game is to simulate bus operations set in the fictional Canadian province of Surrey, and since their release it has been expanded countless of times, even adding a FedEx terminal in one of those updates.
And with all that said about the basics, let's talk buses. Vamos Bus Simulator and its companion game Vamos Baritone offers you 4 operators for you to drive on, and each is separated between the Caledonian region and the Baritone region.
Vamos Transit operates coach and express buses and more regional transit around the whole province of Surrey. Caledonian Transit operates local buses in and around the city of Caledonia. Carriga Transit serves the township of Carriga. And finally, Baritone Regional Transit is the transit authority in the region of Baritone and operates buses alongside Vamos primarily in that area.
Now the buses that you're able to drive in the game, such as from Vamos and all that, are from real-life manufacturers. Things like the New Flyer XD40, the Orion 05 something something, and the Novabus LXA. When you spawn in, you get teleported to the front door of the bus, which makes you board it directly and makes it a bit more realistic. But you just can't sit there and just drive it, that's too easy.
Sit on the driver's seat and oh look at that, there's your speedometer, bus controls, and even this thing called Sapphire, which manages bus routes for you. All you gotta do is to start the electrics, input your info and route number, which you have to consult the Discord server to find it, and you can finally start the engine because you only press Z once you can roll off.
Thing is, setting up a bus in Vamos may be a bit time consuming, yes, but when you get the hang of it, it feels more realistic and at least gives you more control with what routes you want it to take, so yeah. It's not really a problem, in my opinion, so let's just move on.
Now the main premise of driving is to actually drive buses, pick up passengers at a bus stop, take them wherever they want, and terminate buses at a bus station or a bus terminal. Usually in more popular games like Croydon or Sunshine Bus Simulator, you'd get AI passengers. Vamos unfortunately doesn't have that feature, but at least they have other cool features such as electric bus charging and realistic bus sounds, even though everybody has that.
And with all that summarization out of the way, it's time to talk about something that I can finally not summarize, just talk about. Scenery.
Vamos developers often spend time to actually develop good scenery and landscape for the game, so not to actually make players alter for all of a sudden. Like some bus stops having even more luxurious stations and terminals to allow for better boarding situations, as well as this thing, which is just basically a strip mall on steroids, just a basic example of suburbia. But as you can see, it's very satisfying to see how these come together to make much of a good experience for both driving and being a passenger. Right, let's take a look at the network map so we can get a bit more detail into the network itself. As you can see, buses actually focus a lot on the area of Surrey, and especially in the map for the Caledonian region, there's gonna be a lot of consolidation around the areas of Caledonia, as you can see, and the network patterns are a bit interesting though. As you can see, there's a few express routes operated by Vamos towards Trinity Commons and Caledonia, but there could also be night buses, but they are not explicitly mentioned in this map, unfortunately. But I could predict that there would be night buses around the areas that are near Sherwood College or even the Caledonian Station, likely to allow for more transportation methods. And that just adds to the fact that, yeah, it's more metropolitan like the network itself, so yeah, I don't believe there's not much to say. I guess that's just it for what I can say about that.
Alright then, let's talk about the other features of Vamos. Firstly, with game passes. Now, since they're the main revenue source for the developers, Valmo's Bus Simulator actually prices their game passes a bit much, I guess. So yeah, I'm just gonna add a tick over here and see how much it is. And yeah, there's the advertising about buses game pass, there's the Orion package, there's the New Flyer package, there's the powertrain modded buses, and finally there's the articulated buses. As you can see, that's how much Robux you might have to pay for all the game passes. And let's hope it's not as expensive as the 1,000 Robux game pass, but yeah. But the headache starts when you actually want to use the game pass, unfortunately, because, well, it can't really work on both Valmos and Valmos Baritone, only the games that they are suited for.
Alongside the cool wrapped advertising as well as custom destination text on buses, Valmos Transit has their own transit card, the J-Pass. You could technically charge your card with more Canadian dollars, but it's unfortunately unusable outside of buses. You're only able to tap on it, which gives a buzzing sound. You usually get some gear alongside your J-Pass, such as an umbrella or handbook, but I guess these could change at any time.
Now, before I talk about Valmos' community, I would like to take this time here to talk about Valmos Baritone. Yes, I know, it's a separate game. They decided to make it just some kind of expansion to the main Valmos game, but yeah, I'd rather not make it like a part 2 or episode 7 about this, so yeah. Baritone Regional Transit's re-release as Valmos Baritone is like how SCR decided to make Express Neri as an April Fool's joke, except it actually happened in version 1.9. How come? BRT was its own game at the time, existing between 2022 and 23, and that means that it was years before Valmos was actually a thing. It was revived as an April Fool's joke by the Valmos developers in about April 2025, claiming the fact that, yeah, Valmos got sued by Go Transit, but they decided to actually turn it into an actual game once again. And fast forward to August, they decided to actually release it. How come? Finally, let's talk about the community, and let's first start with numbers. Now, the Roblox group currently has over 24,000 members, the Discord server has 6.8 thousand, and yeah, the Discord server is the main home of the community itself, as well as the Valmos game as a whole, since Valmos tries to actually aim for like a ship-like experience, and that really contradicts the open world philosophy that they try to do.
Their main staff portfolio comprises of mostly supervisors who often supervise and moderate both the games and the server. They are trained by a supervising trainer, who is likely trained by a supervising training trainer, pun intended. Most of the development team are comprised of contractors and permanent developers. Contractors may focus on their speciality, but developers hired directly by Valmos could be working full-time and could be assigned to everything. This means that their staff composition is very flexible because contractors may actually stay shorter.
Finally, the other heads on top, the Vice CEO and Chief CEO. Testine_S, the CCEO, actually has a YouTube channel, and man, I can't believe he uses Windows XP to develop this whole game and its sequel. Yeah, I can't believe it. But on the topic of YouTube, due in part to the popularity of the game, it's a bit rare for it to actually be covered in such a scale like I'm doing it on RoTransWipe. And if you search Valmos Bus Simulator on YouTube, there would be mostly gameplay and how-to videos out there. Now, in conclusion, Valmos Bus Simulator is pretty much still going to be a premier Roblox Transport game for good reason. It's from the land of the Maple Leaf and has a good player base, much to the dismay of those Croydon lovers, unfortunately. And that's pretty much it. While I'm sure this episode won't get as much views as episode 1 or even episode 4, this episode has been pretty interesting for a start, as it is my first time indeed covering a bus game, so I do apologize if there's anything wrong with it. And finally, an announcement. Regrettably, I've been a bit burnt out from making RoTransWipe, so I'll be delving into making other content on this channel in the foreseeable future. And might digress, RoTransWipe could be cancelled altogether, but I don't really think so. So once again, I appreciate the support and hope to see you then. That's it for this episode of RoTransWipe. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I forgot. This was the shortest RoTransWipe episode ever. No, oh my.